SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Always great to be back in Clarkston with the great Foster Loyer. Again, Foster, thanks for taking time. You've always been so gracious. And I always leave you alone during basketball season.
Yep.
I don't bug you because I don't think that's right. But Foster, I was just telling you off camera, you are a different player. Last year you were a great player. But Magic once said to me, the difference between a great player and an elite player is a great player has super stats. An elite player gets everyone else around him to have super stats as well, to play better than who they are. This year, you made other guys better. Am I reading you wrong?
No. You know, I think going into this summer and going into this past basketball season, you know, I think it was not only important for myself, you know, to work on my game, but to lead my teammates, to be a leader there for my teammates. And you know, one of the biggest parts about, you know, being a point guard, being the guy that has the ball in his hands, is you have to make other guys around you better. So, you know, the guys that I've been putting the work in all summer with, all fall with, you know, I trusted them, they trusted me, and, you know, it was just fun to go out there and have the success that we did. I'm
going to ask you, you're humble. I know you don't like to talk about you, but I have to talk about something I heard about you.
Okay.
So, Kithier wasn't allowed to play, but he practiced all year with you. And about the second or third week, I heard you got in his suit pretty hard. And it wasn't being a jerk. You love him. He's your friend. He's going to be your Spartan brother. But it was like, I don't care if you're not playing the games. You got to do this. And you pushed him to be better.
Yeah.
Was that just because you saw there was more out of him? What was that?
Well, you know, like I kind of said, you know, I think when you're the leader of your team, you're the leader of the guys, you know, it's important to be able to get on your best friend. It's important to be able to you know, I don't want to say yell at, but sometimes, you know, depending how different guys take criticism, you know, you have to be able to criticize your best friends. And
it's like Izzo said, sometimes you got to be an asshole a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I think that was very important for us. You know, I played all summer with Thomas. You know, I got to know him pretty well, and you know, it was such a rough period, you know, for him with the decision that you know, kind of transpired. But you know, I knew for Thomas's sake and, you know, for our sake. You know, Thomas was going to have to, you know, we got a big season next year, and he's going to have to be ready for that. So, you know, I thought for himself, you know, he needed to ask more out of himself, and, you know, I thought he did. And, you know, he's worked on his game, and, you know, I think he's really going to be ready come this fall.
I think that story we just talked about you pushing him, says a lot about you as a leader, but I think it says a lot about Thomas. He took it. He wants to be better. Fans didn't get to see him playing games this year, but he's a much better player after being with you guys every day in practice, Coach Fife playing with you, Garrett, all the team. Do you agree with my analysis of him, that he's better?
Yeah, you know, absolutely. You know, I think he's grown, you know, a lot on the court. You know, he's been able, you know, sometimes having a little bit of downtime as far as not being in games. You know, sometimes that does help you. You know, in the summer, you know, when I don't have games, you know, I think those are sometimes the weeks that I progress the most. You know, you're able to get more shots up, things like that. So, you know, I think Thomas has progressed not only as a player, but, you know, being with Coach Fife and, you know, the guys that we have in our gym every day, you know, I think it's made him become a better person, and you know, I think that leads to being a better player.
All right. I went out on a limb for you recently. I don't know if you heard about this. So I was asked by fans how good I thought you would be.
Okay.
And I said potentially, not there yet, you haven't even got on campus yet, I think you could be the second greatest point guard to ever play at Michigan State behind Magic. I don't think anyone's going to ever be Magic.
Yeah.
I said you have the fierce, competitive tenacity of Mateen with the offensive talent of Drew Neitzel. Am I wrong?
I would like to agree with you. You know, I think it's definitely going to take, you know, so like you said, you know, it's going to take a lot. You know, we're just getting started. We're not close to there yet, but you know, I think if I keep progressing and I keep putting in the hard work I am, you know, I think there's a chance for anything.
But the thing is, Foster, you push yourself. Coach Fife said to me, Dan, he said the thing that he realized when you were going to be special is he said, I've had a lot of good basketball players, but he didn't have a lot that, before I even yelled at him, he knew what he was doing wrong and was mad at himself. Where does that, is that mom or dad? Because I know everyone knows your dad, but I don't think people know your mom is not, I mean, your mom's no wimp either.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to give, I can't really say which one, I'm going to give it a little bit to both. You know, I think more on the basketball side of things, it's probably my dad as far as being able to kind of critique my game and know what I'm doing wrong. But, you know, my mom, she's a competitor. And, you know, I think I get a lot of that from her. You know, she played college volleyball. She coached college volleyball.
She's fierce.
Yeah. She, so, you know, I think just being competitive and wanting to win in everything you do, and I think a lot of that's came from both my parents.
Dellinger, tell us what you think of him, because Michigan State wants him as a football player.
Yeah.
What do you think of that kid?
You know, so I've known Garrett. I've known Garrett for a few years now. He played on my little brother's basketball team. My brother's going to be a freshman next year, but he played up with Garrett. So, you know, I've watched Garrett grow from when he was a little kid, and he's always been bigger than I am.
No offense, Foster. Pretty much everybody.
A lot of people are bigger than I am. But he was bigger than I am when he was in, like, 5th grade. So, you know, I think Garrett's a special talent. You know, he's always been bigger, but, you know, he's always been real coordinated. He has great hands. You know, on the basketball court, you know, you throw anything at him, he's catching it. And I think he has great footwork. You know, I can't speak to his football. I can't speak to what happens on the field, but, you know, as a person and as a competitor, you know, Garrett has a chance to be real special.
As a person, would you like to see him be a Spartan dog?
Absolutely.
Okay. I want to dig in on Izzo for a minute. A lot of people don't understand him. I've been friends with him a long time. I know him on a personal basis. You do. I've known him a lot longer than you, but you know him as well. If you were a group of people who'd never met him said, Foster, tell us about Tom Izzo, how would you describe him?
You know, I think Coach Izzo is just, he's such a fierce competitor. And I think that's one of the first things that sticks out. You know, he does what he has to do to bring out the fierce competitor in yourself. And you know, I think that fierceness and that intensity, you know, I think is something that attracted me towards him and his program. But, you know, I think he cares truly about, you know, the person you are on and off the court, and you know, he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that he's building the best person that he can out of you.
Is it fair of me when I say Dan Fife is simply a taller, older version of Tom Izzo?
Yeah, you know, from I would 100% agree. From the aspect of, you know, they want what's best for their players. You know, it's never about them. It's about you know, the players that they're coaching, the men they're building. You know, I think Coach Izzo yells a little bit more than Coach Fife. He's simmered down a little bit since a few years ago. But you know, I think they have a lot of the same aspects.
Tom Izzo has a unique relationship with his point guards. He pushes them harder than anyone on the team because you're him on the court. Yep. Having had the parents that you did, your mom, I mean, there's nothing wimpy about your mom. She's a fierce competitor. Your dad knows basketball as good or better than anyone. Dan Fife, he just needles you all the time. I think you're ready. I don't think everybody's ready, but I think Foster Loyer's ready for this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's something, you know, I think my dad has really emphasized on preparing me for. You know, watching film, you know, you got to hear all the bad as well as you do the good. And, you know, that's something I think I'm ready for. You know, I'm all right with getting chewed out. I'm all right with people being in my face. You know, I respond to that. And, you know, it's just something I'm looking forward to.
Now, obviously, Tom Izzo hasn't talked about it, and it's his decision. He's the coach. But I think we're going to see you and Cash on the court a lot next year together. When you look at the way Cash distributes the ball, the way you distribute the ball, man, a dual point guard, two guard set like you two, are you salivating a little bit to get on the court with Cash?
Yeah, you know, it's definitely something I'm looking forward to, you know, getting up there, playing with him as long as against him. You know, I think we're going to make both of each other better. And, you know, every day at practice, you know, it's going to be a battle, and it's something I look forward to.
Will you bring that same, here at Clarkston, you compete every practice like it's a game. Izzo wants that too. Is that going to be a problem for you?
Absolutely not. You know, practice is, I've always said and thought that, you know, the time you put in practice, the time you put in off the court, that's what leads you to be successful when the lights do come on. And that's one of the reasons, you know, I've never been nervous for games or anything like that. You know, because I know I put the work in, you know, I put the time in.
All right, I have to ask you, but you've played on some great basketball teams. I mean, you're back-to-back state champion. But you've never played like you're about to go play in East Lansing. When they can't put 3 guys on you, when they, hey, if I'm open, I'm open. You're going to get open. Do you ever lay there in bed at night and think, I'm actually going to be able to shoot when I don't have 3 people hanging on me?
Yeah, watching MSU this year was it was fun. That group of guys, the brotherhood that they have. They all wanted to see each other succeed, and that was special to watch. And watching a lot of the looks that guys like Cassius and Josh and McQuaid and those guys get, it's exciting to think about. Exciting to see the great talent and guys you have around you making each other better. So I'm definitely looking forward to having a few open shots.
Last question for you though, but I think it's an important one. You have been such a great player for so long, and now your high school career is over. Are you going to be able to just enjoy these last couple months and be a kid, go to prom, go do that, or are you so focused? You're such a focused guy. Are you going to be able to just let yourself enjoy these last couple months of high school? Or are you already thinking, I got to get to East Lansing?
I'm ready to get to East Lansing. I'm definitely going to enjoy my last couple weeks here. In high school at Clarkson. We're going to enjoy being with my friends. We go on spring break next week. I'm going to take a few weeks in the sun. I'm all right with that. But, I'm definitely ready to get to East Lansing and start getting to work there.
I absolutely lied. I said that was the last question. This is because I forgot to ask you. Congratulations. You just got back at 3 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
You were in a national 3-point contest, and you finished 3rd in the country.
Yeah.
So congratulations, Foster.
Thank you.
What competition was it?
It was the American Family Insurance competition.
And you finished 3rd in the country.
Yep. I think it was a fun atmosphere to be around. It was a fun competition. I'd never been in a 3-point contest, and we just finished our tournament, so I'd never practiced shooting off a rack or anything like that, so I went in a little blind. But, it was just fun to be down there with the other guys going to great colleges. I'm going to see them in the future. It was just a fun atmosphere to be with.
Awesome. Great Foster Loyer. Thank you, Foster.